Welcome everybody. Very excited to be bringing you this match on the map Alfheim between Luyendula playing as Fushi and Clovis Basilio playing as Set. Actually, let's take a little tour of the map real quick. So if we look, got some berries here, some cows, some chickens, which I'm just going to refer to them as Dula, just as short. Dula is taking these chickens, taking advantage of these chickens here. You do get it from chickens much slower than regular hunt, but that's probably because he doesn't see any hunt immediately available. A couple elk here, some elk over here, some elk here, but not a lot. Not a lot. 150 per piece for the deer. That's the same for the elk. So not a lot of this elk or deer on the map, just a little bit. Some cows, but not even a lot of cows. A couple wolves there. Our Set player is coming out and converting these wolves, probably using these as scouts, just like he's using his hyena. If you didn't know, Set does get animals each age and animals to start, little hyena here, that he can use to scout around on the map. They don't make great means for harassing early on, just because it's 29 HP, not a lot, but he does make for a very, very great scout. He's taking advantage of this elk here, very nice. But yeah, as we've seen, there's not a lot of hunt. Minimal hunt, not even a lot of cows. If we look at the cows, they get up to about 300, I want to say, maybe 350. Total food with animal husbandry to speed that up. Fuji player getting some houses up. Both players should be getting some houses up. Yes, indeed. Around the watchtower, just to make it a little bit more fortified, harder to take down. Some relics here. We got Pandora's Box, which makes myth units train faster. That's a good one. Over here, we have Guy's Book of Knowledge. This makes infantry do more damage to titans. That one's fairly useless. Sistrum of Bast. Villagers are cheaper. That's always a nice one. And our last relic on the map is the Toothed Arrows. Archers throwing Axemen, Ballista, and Chiroballista do more damage. This is a very, very powerful relic for our Egyptian players, especially for those chariots once you get to the heroic age, to make them that much more deadly. And if we look, we have one medium gold mine here, gold mine here, gold mine here, gold mine here, gold mine here. A lot of gold mines. But this gold mine is going to be a little bit more forward, a little bit harder to get to. And these gold mines on the sides are more exposed as well. Oh, we got going on over here, a little bit of aggression from the scout cavalry, just taking a couple little swings here. Our Fuji player is going to see where the enemy's hunt is going to be. The Pharaoh empowering the granary just to make that a little bit faster. Our Fuji player, Dula, doing a great job at scouting out the map, seeing all the points of interest. Very nice. And this priest just converting more elk to send back home. We got a temple going up for our Set player and as well as our Fuji player. Clovis is... I like the back hunt gathering here. I love that he's not shifting into using his chickens or his berries just yet. I would love to see our Fuji player go out and take advantage of the other little bits of hunt before he actually commits to using his berries, because they are slower. The berries and the chickens do harvest a lot slower. He does have hunting dogs. I believe both players have hunting dogs at the moment. Yes, that's absolutely right. Husbandry, just because he has so many cows right now, would just be such a great idea as compared to our Set player. Does not have many cows. It looks like Dula maybe stole a lot of the cows from our Set player. He is going through Huangdi, which means call to arms in the Terracotta Warrior. Terracotta Warrior being a myth unit that, if it lets me click on it, that returns part of its cost in wood and favor, I'm assuming, back when it dies and expels lethal dust. Pretty decent myth unit, but the better of the things that you get here is the call to arms, which takes your group of human units and creates more of them. We see our set player going through Ta, which means Wadgets as the myth unit, and Shifting Sands, which is a very, very strong god power indeed. So we'll see how they end up using that.
In Wedge.
Wolf just peeking around. Also now having much more of the map revealed thanks to those scouts that Wolf and where is the he is getting all of this elk here. Love that. Maybe the hyena died. I don't see it anywhere else on the map. Just this wolf. Okay, there's the advance. We do see a War Academy going down for our Fuji player. 2 War Academies, so he's probably going to be putting some early aggression on to the enemy. The animals of Set from this age popping out now. We got some gazelle, which is going to be nice to gather food from, and some hyenas to just help fill out the army ranks. Maybe put and a wolf. He might have converted that though. Yeah, he might have converted that for sure. He did secure the Tooth Arrows relic and the Sistrum of Bass relic, making the villagers cheaper and archers do more damage, which is very nice. Here's a Terracotta Warrior and the Scout Cavalry coming in, along with more units being trained. We've got some Immortals, very strong units, very strong heroes coming out. 3 Immortals, perhaps more. Some back home, just guarding these villagers, these laborers. Okay, they did push these villagers off of that hunt, which is good. However, they do have these gazelles, so it's not going to bother them very much at all. These units coming over here, this military coming over here just to see what's going on. Did he grab a town center yet? Is he mining from over here? He's probably just going to scout this area out and see what is going on. Some more military units coming here to mass. They might be attacking this location very soon. Wall going up for our Set player. Let's see if we can get that up before the enemy pushes in. He should see that. Oh, he doesn't quite see it just yet. Now he sees it. Nice little engagement. The Wadjet is probably going to push off these units because it's just so defended. Some more raids going in here. 3 units, couple of mortals, and 1 halberdier is actually going to take this tower down surprisingly quickly. That damage really adds up very fast. Army coming back in, just seeing what it can do. It is going to be taking fire from this tower here. We have some spearmen coming out. I'd love to see axemen instead of spearmen, and just to counter the military here that we have from our Fuji player. These spearmen are going to be moving out to this bottom side to see what damage they can deal. That tower did fall, and he should be coming in to harass this worker line, push them off of wood, get them moving and idling elsewhere. Main army coming back in. These spearmen are going to be coming down here in a second. Yes, there we go. I would not be prioritizing houses. I would definitely be coming down to these villagers to push them off. These military units coming down to pressure these villagers. Very good. Get them off the wood. Get them off these chickens. They are going to take a house down. Very nice. He might lose this Chokanu if he is not careful. This army coming around, seeing if they can cause any damage. I mean, the watchtower would be good to take off. But I mean, if you're going to target buildings, but ideally he's pushing these peasants, excuse me, off of their mining. Here we go. Villagers engaging the Fuji military. That is not going to go well for our Fuji. He loses all of his units. Unfortunate. This tower is likely to go down. Most definitely. Just cleaning that up. He is going to use Call to Arms to make an even bigger military presence here. And that is probably going to be enough to overwhelm this small force of animals and ragtag military units that our set player has. He is taking some town center fire. That adds up. More spearmen coming down, and now the villagers coming out to help. That might be enough to push back our Fuji player. Yes, indeed. Relatively strong presence. Not a lot of damage on most of those military units, whereas there is some more weaker units for our set player. They're just going to be pushed off, drived away. One lone Chokanu taking that granary down. Not sure I like this engagement. He is losing a lot. More military units assembling in this location from these war academies. Rebuilding his presence. Set's army is also getting quite large. And again, he should just be making axemen here. That would be the perfect counter to this infantry. The slingers should be prioritizing the... Oh, we see a... We see both god powers used just then. The vision, I think that might have been a misclick, and the shifting sands, unless he used the vision over here to bring in a couple of villagers, it seemed. I don't know if that was the best use of shifting sands, but he did pick off a couple villagers, so that is something at least. Another army over here coming around, maybe to reunite with the main army. No second settlement yet for our Fuji player. We will see if Dula here decides to capture that soon. Armory going up now for our set player. He may advance first. I do not see... Oh, we do see an armory for our Fuji player. Let's see if he's aging up. Not quite. He does not have the resources to do it. Clovis, on the other hand, is getting very close to having the resources to do that. The armory was denied. His army is now closing in. Where is Set's military is over here. This is not good. If our Fuji player pushes in, he's going to be able to perhaps get some villager kills. Some of these are quite weak. A little skirmish happening down here. He should pull back. And ideally, he should be getting more terracotta warriors just to use against these human military units. If he has terracotta warriors in a secondary force that is primarily tasked with repelling any raids that our set player sends out to harass the Fuji worker line, if he had terracotta warriors in this group here, they could do a great job at shredding through this human military presence, Smith units being a great counter for human soldiers, doing extra damage when they die, and then using his main force just to pressure the set worker line, drive them off wood, get some easy kills, and just keep poking in here to do as much damage as he possibly can. He is getting enough resources. He's climbing up there closer and closer to being able to age up, excuse me. Okay, engagement here. He is going to be taking tower fire. And there is a lot of slingers here. 13 slingers, 16 spearmen. These slingers are going to shred the Chokanus. They are, if you did not know, a counter archer unit. And they are just ripping through. Look at that. ripping through. See, the set player is not likely to send the Pharaoh and the Priest over to do raids. So it's much more effective to, instead of having these head-on battles, come in, attack the worker line, put pressure on. If you get counter-raided, use the Terracotta Warriors and a small force of human soldiers to put some pressure on that raiding force and effectively eliminate it. And maybe even split both of your forces up, or your main force over here attacking the main base, maybe split it into 2 control groups and have one pressuring the worker line and one pressuring the other worker line. And just causing chaos, keeping him distracted. No age up just yet. Clovis is getting close. He is putting a lot of farms down to get that food up to age up. And we see Dula also putting a lot of farms down to help with that age up process to get that food. You do need, I believe it is 800, I want to say food, 500 gold. It might be 1,000 food, 500 gold. But a hefty little chunk of resources. Our set player moving out. See, if he was splitting his army up, he could be, and just leaving maybe one soldier here, one soldier over here, one soldier over here, just keeping an eye on these settlements, keeping an eye on if the villager worker line is coming out to mine, to get some of this wood over here, and just putting pressure on that. And if you do see the army like this, maybe pressuring another side, come down here, bust open the main gate, force them to come down while you have a smaller force to try to attack the worker line and just cause chaos. Let's see if we have an age up just yet. Not yet. We are seeing some upgrades for the slingers and the spearmen. So this is going to improve the armor of the spearmen. This is going to improve the damage of the slingers. Do we have any armor upgrades besides that? No, just line upgrades for now. How about for a Fuji player? Let's see. Whoops. We have medium chokanus and medium halberdiers. So far, a lot of slingers. I'd love to see some more terracotta warriors and chokanus. There we go. Some walls going up, solidifying our Fuji player's presence, preventing any raids, any units from coming down. He did grab his second town center, a while ago, and now has a third. Our set player grabbing his second. And he is aging up through Nephites. He's getting ancestors. And our Fuji player should be close behind soon. But perhaps not. I do not see any food income from him. So he might be falling. I mean, he's definitely falling behind age-wise. Okay, Clovis has his Scorpion Man out and some hunt. I would be pulling these giraffes back just for his villagers to get some extra food here. Okay, big battle coming here. He now sees that the town center has been taken. Not deciding to fully commit. Just being chased back away. This wall is not really completed. There's a gap here, a gap over here. Fuji mining from this mine now, which is a good choice if you can mine over here. We have an engagement happening now. Crocodiles of Set coming in. These giraffes aren't going to be doing much. I would rather see them being used for food, but there's just a slight bit of extra DPS. Scorpion Man doing a ton of damage. The slingers are ripping through those chokanus. And it looks like our Fuji player might come out on top here. Yes. Yes, indeed. He's going to be chased off. And although our set player is ahead age-wise, Dula is ahead in town centers, is ahead in population, does have the capacity to make a bigger army, but he doesn't have siege right now. And the longer he lets Clovis stabilize without harassing him, he now has Migdols, he now has a market, so he might be skipping right ahead to the Mythic Age here in a moment. But the longer that our Fuji player, Dula, gives Clovis a chance to stabilize, he's going to be able to get to that Mythic. He's not being raided. He's not getting any pressure on this gold mine that could come from down here. And he's just getting a lot of time to stabilize, a lot of time to get resources, a lot of time to age up, a lot of time to get those line upgrades, a lot of time to get the line upgrades. And I imagine he's going to get some of the armor upgrades very soon as well. So I like that he's finally coming up here to come through, but it's a little too late. We now see that our set player, Clovis, is going through Horus. That means he's going to have access to Avengers. I believe, let me just double check. Is he going for this one? Yeah. Yes, he's going to have access to the Tornado God Power in Avengers. And Dula finally aging up through Zhang Kui. That means he's going to get access to Uproot, which I am not a fan of as a God Power. It seems very lackluster. And the Jiangxi, which is a cool idea. I don't know how effective these myth units are. They are undead units that drain the life from enemy soldiers as their special ability, I'm assuming. Putting pressure on this gold mine, awesome. I wish this would have happened much, much earlier. I just feel like he has not been putting enough pressure, but he is going to have access with this age up to some siege works and the Uproot, which may be casting the Uproot over here on this Migdol to help take it down. The Uproot does damage to buildings. And maybe throw up some sort of, I don't know what siege weapons the Chinese force has access to with their, do they make palaces? I forget what their version of Migdol Stronghold is. But getting some siege weapons out will be very effective. We have an Ancestors coming out now to help protect against this invading force of Dulas. I would love to see a bell being rung for these villagers. He's losing villagers left and right. Oh dear. We saw the Uproot being used on this location, but it did basically nothing. This is why I just do not like that God Power. I'm not a fan of it. If we look at it, the more buildings in the area, the stronger the effect of the God Power. So I don't know how many more needs to be around this area for it to be awesome, but it just doesn't do a lot for a heroic God Power. He is now advancing again, though, to his Mythic Age, and he is going through Ao Kuang, which is a great god to pick because you have access to the Azure Dragon, but much better, the Great Flood. This is a tremendous God Power. Does a ton of damage. Let's see if it ends up getting used. Set player is doing a good job at fending this invading force out. This gold mine has been denied. We now see a tornado going off on this location that is going to destroy this settlement and also open up a line of attack for our Fuji player. This Migdol is very close to being destroyed. If we can see another army being mustered from our Fuji player, excuse me. I keep saying Zhangji. Our Fuji player that will be able to take down this Migdol and allow him to get another town center up. More invading units putting pressure on this location. They're kind of being melted by this Migdol stronghold and all of these slingers, however. We see these peasants coming up to rebuild this. They could probably also just come over and take down this Migdol. I don't know if... No, they do have a military force here. So that probably would not work out. More pressure on this side. Siege works. Let's see if that Great Flood gets used. It does. Oh, man. Brutal. Oh. Insane use of Great Flood. The best Great Flood I've seen thus far. So many villager kills. Decimated his front area. And that ultimately got him the GG. Our set player, Clovis, was like, you know what? I don't want to deal with any more of that. That just crippled my army, crippled my infrastructure, completely opened the front door to my base, and I'm good, man. I want no more of that. Great game from both players, a relatively quick game. GG Dula and GG Clovis, you guys did a great job, and I hope you all enjoyed watching this cast. I'm very excited to see you in the next one. Once again, thank you so much for watching this match. I hope it was entertaining. That Great Flood at the end was just the cherry on top. Before I close out this video, I just wanted to tell you about a couple of different things. Number one, please like the video and subscribe so I can help get this channel to more people who resonate with me and the content. Number two, the Discord is in the description. The link to the Discord is in the description if you want to be a part of the community, part of my community, and upload your matches to the Discord so that I can cast them if you want to see you on the channel and be featured on the channel as a guest star. And lastly, if you'd like to support the channel financially, just like all of these amazing people here, you can go to the description and there's a link to my Patreon page so you can become a patron like these lovely people. Again, thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to see you in the next one.